What up, gamers? It is Will 777JP, and y'all, we're about that time of year where we're about to get our wrap up for the year. Here I have my 2023 wrap up, and I'm excited to see the differences from this year to last year. Now, last year I got graded with a connoisseur, where I spent 60% of my time defying conventions, playing whatever you feel like. I don't know what that means, but this is what I'm really interested in finding out. So this year, or 2023, I spent 1,974 hours played. That's a lot, guys. That is a freaking lot. But that's not the most I've seen. I've seen 20,000, 20 some hundred. I've seen crazy numbers. And the amount of trophies that I've got. I got 4 platinums in 2023. I know that I wanted to do more platinums last year, and I think I achieved that. This year, I don't remember exactly, so I'll be interested to see exactly. It says I played 281 games last year. I don't know what they kind of, is if there's a time limit per se on, hey, you have to play a game for an hour or something before we're able to count it. I don't know, but so yeah, so I'm excited to see what the wrap up this year's gonna be like. It should be coming out shortly. I think within the next couple weeks. I think last year they did it in November. I'm not sure, but either way, we're in December. It should be happening soon. But the reason we are here today is to kind of go over my game speed in the month of November. Now, as you guys know, I keep a list, a detailed list of the games that I played. I started this list back in 2022. Maybe at the end of the year, when I do my game of the year list of games that I've played, I'll go over in detail the games and which ones I liked and stuff like that. Maybe I'll compare it to previous years and show you guys my list. But November was a light month for me. It's the lightest month of the year. If games beat, it is very, very light. And a lot of things go into that. One, I've been way more active on YouTube. I have the State of Game podcast happening on Sunday nights. I got the Just Playing live on Tuesdays, and then also I've been streaming way more. I mean, I've almost been streaming every day, and just trying all sorts of new games out, trying to see what catches my interest. Because lately I just haven't had a game that just captures that. So maybe I need to take some time away from gaming. I don't know, but we'll see. But this month, or the month of November, I beat what, one DLC, two PSVR games, and then Lego Horizon. So we'll start with the first one, Sola. The Sola DLC I beat November 7th. That was a co-op DLC that I beat with Nelson. I also beat it for the first time. A little backstory with this: I bought the deluxe edition of Sola when it came out last year. I beat it by myself. Awesome game. I liked it so much that I saw it on sale, and I went ahead and I bought another copy for Nelson Gaming Culture, and we ended up beating it this year, together. So I beat it again co-op. We've also did the first DLC, and then the second DLC solo we just wrapped up. Now Nelson has been working a lot of overtime, so the time that we're able to spend gaming hasn't been very much. So the times that we can get together and game has been few and far in between. So this 4 hour DLC took us probably, I don't know, 4 hour. I'm sorry, about a month or so, give or take. Now I want to talk a little bit about the solo DLC. There was two DLCs that came out. I for sure preferred the solo DLC. Solo DLC is basically you're in like a music festival and you got to figure out kind of how the, I don't want to say the zombie virus got started, but a big component of it. So I don't want to spoil it, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the environment, being in a music festival, including music in there, the story. It was a good time. Me and Nelson didn't do absolutely everything in the DLC, but we did a good amount, and the story was fun. Also, we got to do some new things like kicking zombies through those big fans. That was a lot of fun. We did unlock a cool weapon at the very end, which is also fun, which is actually motivating me to kind of play the game over over again. Also, there is an update that came out, I think it was last month, where it's a PvE where you and I think it's three friends can get together, and basically you guys have to protect a piece of the neighborhood and set up defenses. And I think the game runs like 7 days, not 7 real life days, but 7 in-day games. And the first few days you have time to prepare, set up traps, and then the zombie horde comes in. I haven't played it. I would like to play it. Maybe we'll do it on one of our just playing live streams on Tuesdays. The next game that I beat, which was actually the same day as the solo DLC, I beat this earlier in the day. Was it earlier? I think it was later. It doesn't matter. Was Moss, the first one. Now I got Moss. I got the Moss bundle. I think it was last Black Friday. It was during one of the sales, and I was able to get both of them for about $30. And if you guys see that sale on the Moss bundle where you get Moss 1 and 2, highly, highly recommend it. Moss was a game that I was intrigued, but like I didn't know. Like you see those blue orbs flying around, and you see this mouse, and I just wasn't quite sure what the game would be about. But I saw it, and I'm like, you know what? It's a PlayStation game, or it was on PS4. They redid it for the PSVR 2, and if they redid it for that system, then it must be good, right? It must be popular. So I took a chance, and I was surprised, man. You essentially play, so there's your two characters in one. The main character, which is Moss, is the little mouse. You control him, and you're viewing the game from like an outside person viewing in. Think of it as you being like a god looking down and controlling the mouse. Now it's a hero story basically, and your job as like the god who views down is, you see that blue orb there, that's you with the controllers, and you help Moss out by opening doors, opening gateways, even helping him fight in instances by holding the enemy back so Moss has time to do his thing. But the game, really, I really enjoyed it. I started Moss 2, but it is a VR game, so it's not something that I can just sit there for hours on end and just play it and beat it. So it did take me a while. I played about an hour, then I put it down for about a month. I played another hour, then I put it down for like 4 or 5 months, 6 months, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get back in there and finish it out. Because VR to me is one of those things that you don't really want to play it too much, but then once you start playing it, you're telling yourself, wow, I can't believe I haven't been playing this. Like, this thing is amazing. So it's one of those things. Like, you see it from a distance, it's like, oh, it's whatever. But then once you start playing it, you're like, yes, this is awesome. So that's Moss 2. Awesome game. Highly recommend it. The next one is Hubris. Now, this one took me 7 hours to beat. Hubris, I enjoyed as well. Took me it took me a while to beat it as well. Same situation as Moss. Is like, you don't really want to play VR, but then once you start playing it, you're glad that you're playing it, and you couldn't believe you haven't played it. But Hubris caught my attention in one of the very first scenes of the game. You're in a ship. This is like advanced, futuristic game where you're like some sort of soldier or spy of sorts. And then the very first part of the game is a tutorial, of course, showing you how to move, how to jump, all that. But then you get into your mission briefing and you load up into the pod and they shoot you down like Helldivers. And you experience that whole thing being in VR. And that was such a rush. And that right away caught my attention in the game. The game is awesome. You have a weapon, and that weapon you upgrade as you go by collecting pieces of materials all over the game. And it's only one weapon, but it transforms into different kinds of weapons. For example, you start off with a pistol, and then you can upgrade it for it to be like a little Uzi type of gun, or in a shotgun. And all you got to do is move buttons in a certain way in order for the weapon to transform right in front of you into that other option. But The biggest thing that impressed me about this game is the underwater swimming. I have never experienced something like that in VR, but once again, I'm fairly new to VR, so I don't know if there's other games like that. But that to me was the highlight of Hubris, was the underwater swimming and how well you react, how well you control it. Now, Hubris is a very polished game, very polished. Um, a big reason of why I put it down for so long was because I got to a level that I couldn't figure out, and it was because I was missing a collectible. And I just restarted the level, set up a load point, did it, and I finished the game in about an hour after that. But awesome game. I wouldn't say this is for everybody, but if you like action adventure kind of games, this is the one for you. I wish they made more VR games like this where it's a story, a beginning, a middle, and an end. You're the main character. You're the main character in the story. And the last one that I beat in the month of November was Lego Horizon Adventures. So, to me, this one was a very weak Lego game. I mean, I think the Metacritic and the reviews on this game are very, very accurate. I kept it going and I played it and I beat it because I'm a huge Horizon IP. So anything Horizon, I'm gonna play. Whether I stick with it or not, it's a whole different story. Like the rumored Horizon multiplayer that's coming out, I don't know how much of that I'll play. If it's PvE, I will play it way more. If it's PvP, probably not much. But Lego, there's enough there to keep you going. I did play it in one of the harder difficulties to make it a challenge, but the biggest thing that pissed me off about the game was there's no dodge or roll or block or nothing like that. You basically can jump. That is it. But I like the weapons. You can play as the different characters like Varl and Teresa, and and your friends, and they each have their own independent way or independent weapon. So it's a co-op game as well, which is a huge plus. But the game is really lacking on stuff that makes Lego games Lego games. Like the game isn't that destructible, there isn't many collectibles, like there's missing a lot of that. Like there really is no point for exploration in this game. But yeah, guys, these are the games that I beat in the month of November. The Sola DLC, the Moss PSVR 2, Hubris, and Lego Horizon. Now, just because I only beat these four games and you show here 4, 7, and 14 hours, I've been gaming a lot. Like I said, I've been playing live almost every day, a whole bunch of different games. I mean, I probably added another 20 hours into Power Wash Simulator. I've also invested about another 5, 10 hours in Lawnmower Simulator as well, which are things I don't really keep track of that. I only keep track of games that I beat or DLCs that I beat. But I have numerous hours in other games that I'm just playing to play, and I have a lot of time invested in that. But this is the last month of the year. Let's see how many games I beat. I don't set a goal for myself. Like I don't say, hey, I'm gonna beat 100 games or something like that. No, I just try to beat as many games as I possibly can and try to have fun doing it. If I'm not jiving with a game, I have no problems with putting the game away, picking up something else. I have a huge collection. I have close to 600 physical games and over 800 physical games in combination with my physical. So my library is huge, so I have no problem with trying anything that I find interesting or just moving on from games when I'm not having a good time with them. But that's it. That's all I got for the month of December. I mean, or for the month of November. Games beat in November. Now, January 1st, I'll make a video going over all the games that I played this year, which ones that I like the best, and then we'll do a comparison from the previous couple years since I started keeping track of this stuff. Either way, thank y'all for watching the video. Please hit the like and subscribe. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. And if you're watching today, December 3rd, please come join us in our live stream tonight. The Just Playing live stream will be happening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, and it's me, RPG88, Mr. Henry Heck, who's been absent the last couple times. He may or I don't know if he'll be back tonight, but it's usually us three. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Let me know how many games you've beaten in the month of November, if you've beaten any, and let me know what games you guys are playing on currently. That's all I got for y'all. Keep it gaming.